And now, his view, an editorial opinion by Bill Martin.
In what kind of business can you use your customers' money and give them little or nothing for the privilege, and then turn around when the customer needs to borrow some money, and you get to charge them interest that verges on the illegal? Well, that business is called a chartered bank. And in what country is this usury completely legal? Canada, my friends, in Canada. I've often thought about Canada's chartered banks and the seemingly special authority that they have to set their own interest rates. They do business just like the loan sharks. The only difference is the banks don't have an enforcer named Vinny who is skilled at breaking kneecaps. At least with the loan sharks, you know what you're getting into when you make that choice. However, the banks, once community-minded, fair, and reasonably equitable, are now so securely ensconced in the very fabric of our lives, they simply can do whatever they please. We've been made dependent on the banks, not just the business community, but every single household in the country. Try getting through life without a bank account. While banks reduce their services and raise their fees, they shamelessly flaunt their wealth on a quarterly basis with income and profits that simply defy gravity and every other metric of reason and propriety. Worse, they have secured a favored status for the famous credit card, that plastic instrument that has replaced cash and become the measure of your trustworthiness. Try to make a reservation at a hotel. You cannot. They will not reserve a room without your credit card number. You can't even skip the reservation process and take your chances that a room will be available when you get there. No, because you still need a credit card. They won't even accept cash. No, they say, we need to swipe your card in case you use the minibar or some other incidentals. They have embedded the credit card into our lives, and from such a lofty position, they can stick it to us with impunity. Not only do they charge us exorbitant fees, they charge the vendors for accepting our purchases. Where else can you get paid by the sellers and the buyers at the same time? As if that's not a conflict or at least a dishonest brokerage, look at the massively one-sided and completely out-of-context interest rates that they charge. While the bank hosts your deposits for a paltry 1 or 2% of interest, they charge us 18 or more percent on our credit balance. And believe it or not, it's legal in Canada. Now, I say all this today because Chrystia Freeland, our former Minister of Finance, the one who now wants to be Prime Minister, has the gall to promise a reduction in credit card interest as part of her bid to win the Liberal leadership. You talk about gall. The one who had the power to do something about it over the last number of years, the one who backed the banks and allowed them to outmuscle the mob, is now going to be our champion. Right. It is these kind of hollow promises and failure to deliver that gives politicians a bad name. And it would be funny if it weren't so painful. These political and financial leaders share the blame. They are so busy grabbing what they can, so bent on taking the very last buck if they have to, they can't even see the extent of the harm they've already caused, let alone the damage they will unleash tomorrow with their continued abuse of power. No, my friends, tweaking the interest rate is not the solution. Dismantling the credit card monopoly completely? Now that would be a great first step. At least, that's my view. I'm Bill Martin.
You've been listening to His View by Bill Martin. Listen every weekday at noon, 6 p.m., and midnight, right here on Radio from Hope Center.